Welcome everybody to Mega Dad's X. This is the podcast where we hang out with our friends, we play some games together, and answer your burning questions. Thank you so much for joining us this month. My name is John Wall. With me, per the usual, is Adam Leonard. Adam, how's it going?
Hey, very good. It's spider season in my house.
Is it?
It is. I've killed three spiders this week.
Oh, I thought you just meant you're playing Spider-Man this week, but...
Well, that too. That too.
Oh, that's terrifying.
I was just putting Elliot down for a nap right before we were starting, and he was giving me trouble. He was giving me the business, as I like to call it. And I've got to lay with him to get him to go to sleep. And I'm like, Elliot, you need to lay down. Daddy needs to go work. And in my peripheral vision, this giant 8-foot spider, not an exaggeration, this was like an 8-foot spider just went scuttling across the sheets right towards my face.
Nice.
So I scooped him up and I'm like, okay, you're going to sleep upstairs in Daddy's bed because this clearly isn't working out.
Oh.
It's full-on spider season.
Yikes. Well, good luck with that on your end.
Yeah. If I start swatting around at things while I'm recording, I'm probably being attacked by arachnids.
I'll call the police. Joining us this month for our very special episode number 2, we're very excited to have from Xbox Canada, from the land up north, the Dapper one himself, Matthew Rondina. Matthew, how's it going?
Great. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me. I love chatting games, love chatting all things Dapper, I guess you could say. But pleasure's all mine. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. We're excited to have you. We, I know we had attempted to, hoping to cross paths at E3 this year, but it didn't happen, so I'm glad we finally get a chance to chat with you here.
Yeah, it was one of those things where I just kept seeing, your posts online, and it's like at the end of the days, and I'm just like, okay, trying to, figure out whereabouts you guys were, and then shooting schedules would happen, and it just didn't happen, unfortunately. But I'm hoping in the future, if I'm at another E3 and you guys are there, that we can definitely connect.
I just figured you're using our posts to kind of determine where we are so that you could avoid that area. I was like, oh, okay, they're over by Capcom. I better make my way over this way.
No, not at all. I love meeting up and chatting with everybody, like especially with people that I talked to so long for online, whether it's via Twitter or Instagram. No, it's great to talk with people. I think for me and some of the success that I've found in the game industry, it's all based on the people I'm surrounded by, and I love chatting with people like you, with everyone in the industry. Really, it's just such an awesome industry.
So for people who might not be familiar with you, tell everybody just a little bit about what you do and how you cover games.
Well, for me, I wear multiple hats. It all sort of started with Xbox Canada, though. So big shout outs to them, because before I was just an extremely passionate gamer, still am, but I entered a contest with them on Twitter. What was this now? Probably 2 years ago, Gears of War related one. And I didn't win the contest, but then they reached out to me and said, hey, based on what you did with the contest, you seem to have a fun personality. Do you want to come check out this, our Xbox All for One show and be on it? And I was like, oh, no way. Absolutely. Let's check that out. Like, I just couldn't believe they wanted me. I'm like, are you sure? Me? Okay. I went on, and then when I was on the set, I got to meet, sort of long-time hero Marissa Roberto, and I was just like, wow, knowing, all of her, her body of work and all the incredible stuff that she's done in the game industry. I was just like, wow, I'm working with her now. This is awesome. So we did the first original shoot with the Gears of War centerpiece, and you can catch that on Xbox Canada's YouTube page, where we actually took a Gears of War Thanksgiving centerpiece and created one. So it was like this funny holiday gaming mashup. And it went super well. And you know what? If it had all sort of stopped there, I would have been like, man, that was just one of the most incredible things I had done. But thankfully it continued on, and I continued doing Xbox All for One. And then I think it was the March of the following year, they gave me another call and said, well, do you want to go to E3 and co-host the show with Marissa Roberto for us? And I was just like, hold on a second, what? It was just, yeah, it was unreal. And it happened again this year too. And, I've been working with Xbox Canada in Toronto, as well as Cineplex World Gaming, more on the esports side. And Marissa, being as awesome as she is, of course, always invites me on Heads Up Daily as well too, which is a show up here in Canada covering all things gaming and esports. But for me, yeah, it's just I find it's kind of interesting with the industry, the game industry in general now. Not that I'm any expert, but I try to diversify as much as I can, whether it's through writing, doing amazingly fun work with Xbox Canada, or doing some filming with Heads Up Daily. It's been quite the roller coaster ride. If you went back 3 years ago from this point and said to me, well, you're going to be doing one of these things, I'd be like, no way. But I've been pretty blessed, and like I said before, I'm surrounded by this amazing group of people, whether shoutouts to Xbox Canada, Marissa Roberto, Paul Hunter, John Scar. These are two guys that have really looked out for me, sort of beginning my career. And also Paul Hunter and John Scar, they're also mega dads too. So just FYI, Paul does writing for Walmart Canada, and John does writing now for Best Buy Canada. But I got to know them very early on, and I attribute a lot of my success to those two fine gentlemen. So you might want to talk to them too at one point.
We're gonna have to get in touch.
Yeah.
So
Get the Rolodex out.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot in your that you bring your son into a lot of your work. I've seen him in videos that you post on Xbox. I've seen lots of photos. You were in our gamer spotlight, and there were lots of cool photos of him in like the Forza get up racing with you, and a photo of him.
Thank you for that spotlight. That meant so much to me and the family. It was just such a cool way to sort of go back and almost create almost a mini scrapbook through that Q&A.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no problem, but thanks.
How much fun is it to involve him in this cool world that you've gotten wrapped up in?
Oh, it's amazing. Like, I think a lot of people, like, not to say that I could write a book about parenting or anything to that extent, but I think the most fun thing about it is just involving your son or daughter in what you're doing. I think that's the key. Like, why sort of compartmentalize everything in terms of, well, this is gaming time, this is family time, but bring it all together. Like, obviously there's certain things I can't play with him, like your Gears of War and such, but those E-rated games like NHL or something like Forza coming up, like our household is at a fever pitch for that title, because that's one of like our games. So for me, I think it's just one of those things where Xbox Canada is so great and so supportive of my family, and the fun things that I do, and Marissa's the same way as well too. Even inviting Dapper Jr. on for some segments as well too down the road. But national TV, that could be we can't let him get like too too full of himself yet.
Right.
I'm already full of myself enough as it is, so
Yeah, he's gonna go to school. It's like, well, I got a big video shoot this weekend. I don't know if that play date's gonna work out for me.
Do you find that kind of difficult to moderate your gaming with your son, or to kind of change what you play?
Yeah,
when it's family time. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I'm a relatively new dad. My son is 4, and my gaming habits have changed radically. Not just the amount of time that I play, but obviously what I am playing. I really have to watch. I'm a guy who enjoys, stuff like Grand Theft Auto or The Last of Us, or you're talking about Gears of War. How do you find that changes like what you enjoy and how you kind of tailor your game time?
Well, big time. Like those games I just kind of list as late night games, or after bedtime games for me. So like those are once Dapper Jr.'s sleeping, then I'm gonna be playing something like that, right? But like you said, those big open world games like the Grand Theft Autos and that, you really start to change your gaming habits in terms of maybe I'm not going for all those collectibles or all those achievements because it's a very short amount of time. But even at night, like if I'm playing something like NHL, I feel guilty because it's just like, well, I could just play this with him when he's awake, so maybe I should jump over to something like the Gears of War or Halo. The more violent titles, like I said, I have to keep at night. I really don't want to, have something like that, him see something like that and it really bother him. Right. So for me, it's always E-rated or bust.
How old is your son?
He's 4 as well.
Oh, okay. So we're in the same boat then. Yeah, I try to change, a little bit more friendly. I do play games where there is fighting and combat. Like John said, I've been playing Spider-Man and really just trying to gauge whether some of these things, while not violent, if they're appropriate, because he will jump all over the furniture if he sees too much action on screen. So it isn't even just like necessarily inappropriate content, but like what's right for his age group to be exposed to, kind of a thing.
No, it's funny. Like I was playing Spider-Man 2 with Dapper Jr. and we're swinging around. I'm like, you know what? You can go ahead, like swing around New York a bit. And then he's like, and I said to him, if you see the bad guys, we just stay away from them. But it's pretty crazy. Like, it's funny with certain games like that. You can kind of even sort of change the true meaning behind them with a younger one in the room, right? Like it turns into I'm gonna swing around and run like Spider-Man and just take photos, and then after hours I will go through and deal with the more nitty-gritty of like taking down Fisk and stuff like that, where there's gunfights. But yeah, it's really interesting to strike that sort of balance. And another thing too that I've really, really loved and enjoyed so much is Xbox Game Pass. That has been quite a savior in terms of like our household, with finding stuff that constantly rotates through. Like there's a plethora of Disney games there, racing games. So we've always got something to play, especially with Game Pass. Like I know it sounds like a bit of a plug here, and you know what?
No,
it can be, but I mean, like they have all those Disney games. In our family, we went down to Florida and checked out Disney World this summer, and then to be able to go back and reflect on those memories and be gaming at the same time. It was just the coolest experience. So
yeah, Elliot just found the Disney Pixar game on Game Pass, which is perfect for his age because there's no death, there's no penalty for doing something incorrectly. It's like exactly geared at his age group. So I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like Viva Pinata. I think Zoo Tycoon is still on there right now. There's so many great games. Oh, Super Lucky's Tale. That's a great one. That just when we're playing that one, he's just kind of like frozen. He's just like staring at it like, oh, this is like I'm controlling a cartoon. This is incredible.
Awesome. Well, before we jump into the inbox real quick, I just wanna ask a question that's been on my mind for a long time. I wanna hear the origin story of Dapper Tux. Where did the name come from?
So Dapper Tux just sort of came from, I found like a funny picture of a penguin in a tuxedo. And I found that there's a lot of, I'm not going to sort of beat around the bush here. There's quite a bit of toxicity at times in the gaming industry. And I just wanted to kind of find a signifier of, someone who's going to act classy, remain classy and fun. And I just kind of slid into that Dapper Tux role. And then the Dapper idea came from one of my students who I was helping out like around graduation. I usually have a lineup out my door because I when I go to work, I always wear a tie, collared shirt, a tie, and dress pants. It's just something that I do as an educator. But the kids sort of like figured out that he knows how to tie a tie. So whenever they're taking their pictures for grad and that, there's always a line out my door of this guy can tie ties. So they're always saying, "Sir, you're always keeping it so fresh. You're always keeping it so dapper." And like that's I think probably the earliest point, like 5 years ago, where things started on Twitter. And it's funny, it started on Twitter because my original gamer tag was different, and Dapper Tux actually, my gamer tag switched, funny enough, to accommodate my social media. So that's cool. That right there is a little known fact I sprung on you.
I've been curious about that.
Yeah. If I had to pick a name based on my appearance, it would be like Krusty T-shirt. And I don't think that's that's not as marketable.
it's funny, and it's become like surprisingly, I guess marketable for some of the people I work with, and a lot of people, I know instantly who I'm dealing with from one of the many lives I live. If someone's calling me Daps or Dapper, I know it's gaming related. If someone's calling me Matt or Matthew, I know it's back in my realm as a father or an educator or what have you. So it's fun. I get to live like 3 lives.
It's like your secret identity.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, I think now we will jump into the inbox segment. This is where our listeners can send us a question for us to answer. If you would like to send in a question for us to talk about on Megadads X, you can just email us at megadadsblog@gmail.com. So, Matthew, since you are our guest today, I would like you to pick a number between 1 and 11.
I'll go with 7.
7. Okay. So this question comes from Matt.
All right, another Matt. And I went with 7 because it's a very lucky number. I met my wife July 7th, and yeah, there's been a lot of really good 7s in my life. So popped in that 7, and now it's lined me up with another Matt. So let's see if the 7 luck continues.
Let's work it out. I don't know if I have a lucky number.
You better work on that, John.
So Matt asks, why does pineapple on pizza taste so dang delicious?
Oh, this is a Matt after my own heart. I can't.
Did you write this question?
I emailed it. Yep, that was me. Yeah, it's a Canadian classic. I mean, you can't mess with pineapple on pizza. Myself and a few other, gamers / influencers up here in Canada, like Dan Hamill, Green Skull. We're all about Team Pineapple. I think Brock McLaughlin is as well too. So, yeah, there's a big movement up here for Team Pineapple, and it's one of those things. When I was younger, I didn't like pineapple on pizza, and then as I started getting older, I'm like, this is delicious.
It's definitely one of those things you have to grow into, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Because I can, I guess it gave me that more well-rounded sort of expertise on this, where I can understand why people don't like it, but at the same time, eventually grew to love it. And it's so funny that it's called a Hawaiian when it's this Canadian invention.
Right. I had no idea it was such a controversial topic. It seems like lately there's been so much online on Facebook and Twitter, just like people are heated when it comes to pineapple on pizza.
Oh yeah, people really get going. Yeah, for sure. Maybe I'll even relate it to this interview. We'll throw that out there and stoke some more fires, I guess, in this great culinary debate.
Well, as long as we're breaking down the Hawaiian pizza, let me ask you this, because this, we might as well get to the bottom of this. Here in America, our Hawaiian pizza is pineapple and Canadian bacon. So what do they refer to that as up there? Is it just bacon?
I think the closest, I think we call Canadian bacon is essentially back bacon. So we call it up here like back bacon, because regular bacon is just bacon. But
Right.
I like, based on my understanding, is that back bacon, things that are really big here in Toronto are like back bacon sandwiches. So I would consider that sort of like Canadian bacon.
I've been educated, John. I've never heard of back bacon before.
I might be miseducating you, so sorry, but yeah, if you
We'll
guys
never
are in
know the
Toronto,
difference.
I've got to take you, definitely out for a nice back bacon sandwich. It's and a poutine, and I'll have maple syrup, although it's it's not as prominent as some people might think. But yeah, I'll definitely give you the full Canadian experience. We'll have a back bacon sandwich in the CN Tower, while sipping on some maple syrup and chowing down on poutine. I think that
sounds
would
amazing.
I'm booking airline tickets now.
Yeah, I don't even think you'd need a passport. I think at that point you'd be so Canadian. I've eaten a back bacon sandwich at the CN Tower while sipping on maple syrup and chowing down on poutine. They're just like, go ahead, sir.
Wait, did you say sipping maple syrup?
Yeah, you can. We tend to sort of have it up here, like at big festivals, where you can put it over almost like ice and it freezes. So you're kind of sipping it there. We've had maple lattes and things like that. Yeah. What else? Maple fudge. Oh, maple fudge is killer. It's so good.
How hard is it to get Canadian? Because I think I want to change.
Okay, let's get to the bottom of this. And I think I know a few reasons why, but why is Canada so much better than America?
Oh, now I've got a lot of American family, so I've got lots of family in Connecticut, so I got to be real careful here, gents.
I mean, every time I hear, from you and Marissa Roberto and Sean Capri or Victor Lucas, and they're talking, and it's just like, Canada sounds so wonderful. I just I just want to pick up my family and move.
Oh, it is, and I recently moved into Toronto, and man, I love this city. Like, I just absolutely love the city of Toronto. Oh, without Toronto, I don't think I would be in the gaming industry, because luckily, as a hub, things are extremely centered here, and there's just so many awesome people that I get to meet and work with, like Patrick Mack, Caboose. These, they're mostly centered in and around the city, and so is Xbox Canada. But yeah, the city in and itself just had so many events as like a gamer, sort of coming into shifting from a gamer to more of a journalist within the industry. I think that a lot of that came from the fact I just attended these events on such a regular basis, and it just started to naturally happen that started to do more professional things in the industry, like writing and now performing, which is pretty awesome.
And all that stems from pineapple.
All of it. Every single part of it. I think I should get a pineapple tux, like a pizza and pineapple tux.
Oh man,
I think that would just be absolutely trending for months.
Adam, maybe we need to go up to what was the big there was a big convention a couple of weeks ago I know you were at. What's that show?
Fan Expo Canada.
Is that in Toronto?
Yes, that is in Toronto, right at the Metro Toronto Convention Center. So it's amazing because it's gaming, and it's like all sorts of like hobbyists, like in terms of comics. You can meet actors. Man, who was a big headliner there? I can't remember right off the top of my head, because I'm always in the middle of the gaming stuff. That's where I tend to plant myself.
Right.
But Fan Expo just is awesome. And we also
maybe that
have
needs to be the next Megadad's trip.
Yeah, there you go. And well, you should come up in October, because we have EGLX happening as well too, and that's also happening at the Metro Toronto Convention Center, and it's even more gaming focused. So I'm getting really excited for that.
All right. Well, thank you to Matt for sending in that question. That brings us to our third segment, where we're going to play a game that we like to call Real or BS.
Oh man, Matt, don't worry, because I'm terrible at this game. I haven't won yet.
So this is the game where I'm going to name 10 things.
I'll be the first person you win over, so don't worry.
I name 10 things, and then the two of you are going to try and guess which are real and which ones I completely made up. You each get to take a guess for each round, and we'll alternate who guesses first. So on the first one, Matthew will guess first, and then Adam will take his turn. And then on the next question, the reverse. For each correct guess, you get a point, and whoever gets the most point wins a lifetime supply of thumbs up.
Before we start, John, you know what happened last time we played this game? Your category was Donkey Kong characters.
Yes.
And our guest was a dude who literally wrote an article about the history of Donkey Kong characters. So are you going a little bit easier on me this time, or?
The theme, there's always a theme for Real or BS. So the theme for this game is indie game developers.
Ooh, cool.
Do you play a lot of indie games?
Oh, of course. Yeah, absolutely. Well, when we talk like Studio MDHR, they're Canadian. Cuphead.
Oh, yeah.
They're like 45 minutes away. They're the coolest. Yeah, shout out to them, the Moldenhauer family. Oh, the best.
He lives in a much cooler place than I do, John. I've got a Dairy Queen within 45 minutes.
Hey, don't knock Dairy Queen, but
All right, so, like I said, we're going to start. Matthew's going to guess first on this first question, and then we're going to go through the 10 items, and unlimited lifetime supply of thumbs ups to whoever wins.
Both hands, John? Like
double.
Left thumbs and right thumbs? Or does he have to pick?
It's unlimited, I said, so you can choose left, right, both.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to FaceTime you guys at like midnight and be like, okay, thumbs up.
I'm cashing in.
My wife is going to be pissed.
I'm getting a midnight snack. I just need a thumbs up.
Sorry, hon, it's Dapper again. He needs my thumb.
Okay, so here we go. The first one. I'm going to name the indie developer. Are they real or are they made up? The first one is The Odd Gentleman.
Odd Gentleman?
The Odd Gentleman.
Can I have it in a sentence, please? No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna say it's real. I'm gonna go with it's real because I've heard some indie names like that are just way out there. I'm like, that can't possibly be real, but they're there.
So Matthew says real. Adam, what do you think?
I also say real. I've heard of this very recently. I can't place the game, but I'm pretty confident this is real.
You are correct. They are real. They developed the misadventures of PB Winterbottom.
I like how it's
All right.
like dapper, gentlemanly sort of themed with the first question too. Well done.
Exactly. All right, then the next one goes to Adam to answer first. Hipster Whale.
I'm gonna call BS on that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna say no go on Free Willy there.
You are incorrect. That is a real indie developer.
Hipster Whale?
Hipster Whale. They made Crossy Road.
Really? Now I'm trying to picture what a hipster whale looks like.
He's got
like
a
white
beard.
rimmed sunglasses and a really full and healthy beard.
All right. Matthew, the next one is for you. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Perpendicular Homicide.
Wow. I Perpendicular Homicide. Wow. It's just too crazy. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna stand and say yeah. No Perpendicular Homicide.
I'm gonna say real.
They are completely fake.
Oh, no.
That's a really good name, John. Was that like your side gig, your metal band or something? Or?
Band name.
My rap name. Yeah.
So Matthew's leading 2-1. This next one goes to Adam to answer first.
Mm-hmm.
Hyper Hippo Productions.
I'm gonna
Hungry Hippo, like the
right?
the game, like board game.
like really fast. I'm gonna say BS.
Matthew.
Hungry Hippo. I like this is why I'm kind of like thinking about this one because Hungry Hippo is a kid's game.
Hyper Hippo.
It's I know it's hyper, but I wonder if someone would avoid that. I'm just walking through the logical point of would someone get sued for using that? But it's just a cool name, so I'm gonna say it's real. I think it's gonna be real.
It is most definitely real. Hyper Hippo Productions. They made Adventure Capitalist.
Oh, I'm not familiar with that game. I'm gonna check it out.
Nor am I.
Question number 5. This one's for Matthew, who, by the way, is leading 3-1, Adam, so get it together. Number 5 is Oblong Platypus.
Oblong
Animals.
platypus?
Oblong Platypus.
I'm trying to think of like, when you're watching, like, game starts up and you're looking at those developers and you're just like, man, that would jump out at me. I'm gonna say the Oblong Platypus, although a really cool name. I'm gonna walk away. I gotta say that this one is not correct. It's not real.
I'm gonna say real.
I completely made up Oblong Platypus.
Oh my goodness.
Adam, you are terrible at this game. You weren't lying.
I was
getting
hoping that
smoked.
one was real.
All right, Adam. Time for your comeback.
How many we got left here?
We've got 5 left.
Oh jeez, I'm in a hole here.
You've got to turn it around. Number 6 is Mommy's Best Games.
There's no way. No way. BS.
Matthew?
Mummy's Best Games?
Mommy's Best Games.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's fake. It just can't be real.
Oh, it's real.
Really?
No.
It's real.
What they make?
They developed a game called Weapon of Choice.
Wow, big disconnect
The
there.
score remains 4-1. And I believe the next one is for Matthew. Yummy, Yummy Tummy.
Yummy tummy, like, games?
Nope, just Yummy, Yummy Tummy.
so like it would be yummy tummy games. I'm gonna say I don't think that's real, unless that's like who made Overcooked. But yummy tummy games or yummy tummy. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's maybe a great restaurant name. I don't think that's gonna go with a developer. You ever think about when you're coming up with a company name? Oh, hi, I'm from Yummy Tummy.
Looks great on a business card.
I kind of wish we would have named this the Yummy Tummy Podcast. So he's calling fake on that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say real, and if it is, I want to order a T-shirt.
Well, then get out your credit card, Adam, because that's a real game developer.
Oh, nice. Yummy.
What do they make?
They developed Fallen Legion.
What? That doesn't. That sounds so serious.
Oh, and that sound means that we are running out of time, so we've got 3 more to get through. Number 8 is Synchronous Diaphragmatic Flutter.
What?
Synchronous Diaphragmatic Flutter.
It sounds like a bad disorder.
What do you think?
Am I going first?
You're going first.
I'm saying BS.
It sounds too much like a crazy diagnosis you Googled. I'm gonna have to say no.
You're both right. It was made up.
Where did you come up with that?
Oh, it's the medical term for hiccups.
Which, funny enough, Hiccup Games is a real developer.
Is it really?
Wow, that's the coolest thing I've ever heard. They sound so much more serious now.
Yeah. So this next one is for Matthew. Number 9 is Millennial Fisticuffs.
Oh, that's just so cool. Millennial Fisticuffs. It sounds so cool sounding. I don't know though. I think I clinch here, right? Like if
you get this right, then yeah, I'm out.
Yep.
I'm gonna say no.
I'm gonna say real because I gotta get some ground here. So
you gotta get the T-shirt.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a whole bunch of T-shirts.
They are in fact made up.
Oh, but that's a cool one. You should just with the T-shirt.
I think all my fake ones should be real developers. So
John, you're missing your calling.
I think I am
creating like band names or album names and indie game devs.
So this last one is just for bragging rights. Then, Adam, you're gonna go first. The last one, the last indie developer, is the Communist Tupperware Party.
No way. No way.
That's a T-shirt that you definitely need. The Communist Tupperware Party.
I hope that's real. I gotta say real just because that's clever.
Matthew, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna say yes, just hoping that it's real.
I wish it was real, but I made it up.
Dude, you're fired. Go do something more creative with your life.
So that's it. Matthew wins unlimited, a lifetime supply of thumbs ups with a final score of 6-3. Congratulations, sir.
Oh, thank you very much. Dapper top hat is off though to everyone here. What you guys are doing is great. It's so cool that you're profiling mega dads here, there, everywhere. Yeah, I really appreciate that. This is really cool.
Thank you, sir.
I was going to ask real quick before we go. You said before that you wear many hats. Do all those hats have to be, by definition, top hats?
I would say so if I'm staying on brand here. Or they have to be like very feathery and gilded, like you would see at like the Kentucky Derby. I guess something like that.
Could you get away with a real svelte bowler hat, do you think?
Possibly, yeah. I think you could. I said that to Marissa, and I always get her laughing because she's just like, "What? So you always got to dress up?" And I'm like, well, I this is my brand now. It doesn't work with sweatpants and a slobbed-on shirt. You can't be dapper sweats." She always finds that one funny, but yeah. No, and I like to dress nice. What can I say? It's fun to throw on a jacket. I guess part of this too is when I was younger, growing up as well. I went to a Catholic school, and we always had to wear a tie. So maybe that it's just a subliminal thing that carried through. But
just stuff.
a lot of people get a kick out of it, and it's funny. I just will wake up randomly, and someone will have tagged me on Twitter. Look, you've got competition. It's just some like person in a tuxedo. I've already won that contest, friend, but thanks for trying.
Well, thank you, Matthew, for joining us for Mega Dad's X. We really appreciate it. Why don't you tell the folks real quick where they can find you online?
So you can add me on Xbox Live at Dapper Tux. So it's Dapper, just space Tux, and then on both Twitter and Instagram, it's Dapper_TUX Tux, as well as on Xbox Canada. You can catch me there on the YouTube channel right now. All of our E3 coverage, all the fun stuff that we've done with, some couch co-op with Dapper Jr. Heads Up Daily as well. You can catch some of my latest segment. I did a really cool segment all around cool stuff in the classroom with how to, destroy that homework with games like Assassin's Creed. And then finally, World Gaming Network. So feel free, you're looking for some esports news, some great interviews. Recently, I interviewed William Ho, creative director for NHL 19, as well as Tony Flame and his last name is Flame, which is the coolest thing ever.
Best last
Call
name.
of Duty. But anyways, my plug here is going on way too long, but you can catch me those multiple places.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and hopefully we'll be hanging out in Toronto sipping on maple syrup very soon.
For sure. I'll actually have to find a place that really allows for that, but just not to break your hearts.
We can bring our own. All right, thank you, sir.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you so much.